Back. The organization National Retail Solutions partnered with the Bodega and Small Business Group, along with several other independent retail store owners in New York, to combat crime. In response to several robberies in Staten Island, Washington Heights, Queens, and the Bronx, the NRS plans to donate panic alarm systems to bodegas across the 5 boroughs at no cost. The Director of Community Relations, Ricky Shah, and the Director of E-commerce Solutions, Joshua Korman, join me to discuss their efforts. Thank you both so much for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Now, Josh, can you tell me a little bit more about the National Retail Solutions organization?
Sure. So National Retail Solutions is the leading provider of point of sale, commonly referred to as POS systems, to small independent convenience stores, bodegas, and they're referred to by many different names in different regions. Here, obviously, bodegas. Our guiding philosophy and underlying mission statement begs the question, how can we support these small businesses through straightforward, robust, and affordable technology solutions? Before many of our customers had the POS, they were typically using old Casio registers, lock boxes, even cigar and shoe boxes to run their operations in their store. So having the POS and having this technology solution really helped revolutionize how they do business, and as well help to keep them competitive in an ever more competitive environment, especially with many of the much bigger names out there, 7-Eleven, Circle K's. These stores really need that competitive advantage. And I think really one of the most important components here is many of our customers are first or second generation immigrants, and they took a big chance launching a store and launching a business in this country, and they really do everything in their stores. They are product managers, they are HR, they are chief cook and bottle washer, and they really are entrepreneurs. And they need the support and they need the help of these big business organization tools, such as our POS and many of the other solutions we offer. And ultimately, these are the things that really help keep them competitive. As well, one of the most important components of what we do is the relationship we create. Many of our sales channels and sales team are from the communities in which they serve and in which the customers are in. So they have a deep relationship with customers, and I've visited many stores. I see how they interact with them, and it's much more of a friendship than it really is a professional one.
Like they kind of know you already, yeah.
Exactly. They were discussing family and other things related to the community much more than they were even discussing business. So that's how we really, try to operate NRS, and those are really the values that we have.
Now, Ricky, what have you noticed regarding the robberies affecting bodegas across New York City?
So sadly, with the robberies, they don't care where you are. For them, it's, I just want to grab something and go. Right now, a lot of robberies are people are in danger, not just the customers, the employees. A couple employees were shot, some were beaten. Now, some customers have been approached, but luckily they have not been harmed. But it's just, we don't want to see anybody get hurt.
Now, thank you so much for sharing that, because I think that a lot of people, when we hear, oh, like the store was robbed, you think that, people are just like taking the money, but unfortunately, a lot of people do get hurt. So thank you so much for sharing that and letting us know the severity of the situation. Now, Josh, what effect, would these robberies have on these bodegas?
So I think the effects are many. There's the obvious one, personal safety. That's the first concern of anyone, the personal safety and the safety of the people around you. But I think the issue goes a lot deeper than that. These stores are second homes to many of the owners and operators and many of the employees. They spend a huge percentage of their time in that store, probably even more than they spend at home. So feeling secure and feeling safe from a psychological and emotional perspective is really pivotal, and it's key. It's key for their peace of mind. So obviously the safety issue, but feeling safe in a place that you spend countless hours in is critical. And as well, the economics can really hurt these stores. Unlike big retail chains who maybe can write off theft, it's much harder for these stores to write off theft. And when things get stolen, especially many things, it can be a real economic hardship for them.
Can you actually expand on that challenge? That was not something that I was aware of. Can you just expand on that a little bit more?
The economic challenge?
Yeah, like how, larger organizations can kind of write it off, whereas like smaller organizations can't?
Yes, absolutely. So large organizations, obviously they're well funded. They have complex organizational structures, and they build in they build into their overall economics. We expect to have theft. We expect to have this many items missing from this location or that location. These stores, they can't anticipate that, and they can't write that off because they're laying out money for their product and for the things that they sell. And when they lose that, it's not so easy for them to recoup.
Now, Ricky, how is this affecting these owners, but, the communities that they serve?
So basically, as what Josh was saying, this business is a penny business. These small stores, there's not a lot of profit to be made. So what they're making, they're putting in their rent, their payroll, their products. So as they start losing their products, they start losing money, they're not going to be able to pay their people. They're not going to have products. So customers are going to stop coming in. If they start getting robbed, customers are going to fear for their life. Do I really want to go to that corner store that gets robbed every other week? I got to bring my kids. I got to bring my parents. They don't want to see any harm to get done to their families. So once they start losing the customer bases, that store is going to close up. Where are we going to go for our products? We can't always afford to go to the big box stores. We need to go to where we can afford to go, where they accept our EBTs. They give us credit because they know us. We've been here for 10, 12 years. They'll let us slide for a couple of days. We need them to be here to survive.
And, that also made me think about the fact that, I've seen children grow up, maybe the kids of the store owners, sometimes they're behind the counter, and, they actually grown up in the community. So it is so sad to hear, so many stores are dealing with this.
So I actually grew up, my father was a bodega owner in the Bronx. We closed that one up. We moved to Jersey. I grew up in a store. Luckily for us, we never had to face that harm where we were robbed at gunpoint, anybody was assaulted. So I grew up in it. I like the business. I had my own business. I want that to keep continuing. I don't want people to say, I want to close down my bodega. I don't want my kids to take over. It's very hard. It's very difficult to survive when you know you're going to get robbed every other week. We don't need that. We need to keep everybody protected.
I'm so glad that you shared that because I had no idea. And I think that kind of adds another layer, I guess, to this entire story. Can you just explain, is that kind of what inspired you to become a part of this?
So I wanted to branch out. I wanted to grow in a different form, get some more experience outdoors to see what it's like for a company like National Retail Solutions to step into a store and get their product out there. So as I joined, I'm able to go meet these store owners, see their difficulties, and compare to what my difficulty was and try to help them.
That's amazing.
I was able to be helped by my parents, so I want to be out there and help other store owners.
Well, that's so amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Now, Josh, how has your organization supported independent and small businesses, considering that you mentioned NRS?
Sure, of course. So we support them in many different ways. Obviously, what we're here today to talk about, the panic alarm, is one of our newer features in which we're really trying to help. But we do support them in many different ways. We have roundtables where we invite merchants to come and speak about issues they're having, and then we think of ways we can solve them. We have tons of products and services which are specifically geared towards small, independent type of retailers. So every product and service we ever come up with is always with that primary philosophy in mind. How can we help you run your store better? How can we make you more efficient? How can we make you competitive? And serving, to an extent, an underserved market, an underserved slice of the market. We have things like we just launched an e-commerce solution, which kind of fits into the same vein as the POS. How can we help these merchants now compete online? We have a funding department. How can we get their stores funded and buy the things they need, whether it's a new fridge, tons of different things that they might need for their store in order for them to operate better. So overall, we always take into account the NRS philosophy is how can we help, and then we create those solutions based on that philosophy.
Now, can you talk about the panic alarm system? I got to see a glimpse of it, and it looks really, really awesome. Can you talk a little bit more about it?
So the panic alarm button is put right onto the POS, where we can't show you exactly where it is. Just for the safety of the store owners, we want to keep it a little safer for them. So right on the POS, that's our main screen. It's not going to show you anything where the POS is. We do train the store owners, the staff, how to use it, how it works. but we can't give away too much of the
Right,
information.
which makes sense. I think that's very smart not to do that. But how will this help mitigate issues of robberies for so many of these store owners?
So there's a lot of different panic alarm buttons that aren't on your register, on your point of sale. You have to really jug up underneath the counter to find it. When somebody's there with a gun to you, they see you fumbling, looking for something, they're not going to think it's a panic button. They're going to think you're looking for a weapon. So their main point is to shoot because they don't want to get hurt. So their main job is, I'll take down the threat, I'll get my money and leave. With this one, you go straight to the register, you hit that panic alarm button, you let the drawer open up if you can. If not, at least you could have the police come to you right away.
Now, can you talk about your partnership with the Bronx Community Foundation and the Bodega and Small Business Group? I understand that's part of the reason why you're going to be donating some of these.
Yeah, so Francisco with the Bodega and Small Business Group has become a good partnership for us. Not only am I was able to sit with him, learn about what the struggles are with the store owners in the Bronx, Harlem, we're able to help them. Our main goal is to reach out to clientele that we don't already have to see where their struggles are and try to help them out.
Now, Josh, what do you hope to see in the future in regard to this effort and just keeping more small business owners safe and, keeping their families and their community safe?
Of course. So this panic alarm, I think, has launched some internal thinking for us and how can we better protect our stores. Obviously, offering them the tools they need to operate their store and to market their store and all these things to run their business. But there's definitely talking within the company. How can we bring even more tools to help keep these stores safe? So we actually already offer a camera, and that comes with some of the packages of the POS, so they can actually get a camera. Obviously, the panic alarm, and we're always forward thinking. How can we protect our stores? Because the protection of our stores is really key. So there's definitely things on the horizon, and I hope we can get working fast and really help these stores stay safe.
Well, I appreciate you both taking the time to talk about this. I learned a lot. One, I didn't know that so many store owners still use like boxes,
Well, less now.
Right,
You still find a good number of them that still believe in that, so they think it's hidden.
Right.
But you'll see a lot of different unique ways
that people are kind of like doing things in the background. Well, once again, I appreciate you guys taking the time to talk about this and, this effort to protect more communities. So thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
To find out more about NRS installment of panic alarm system, please go to their website at www.nrsplus.com. We've come to the end of our show today. I'd like to thank all of our guests for joining us and you, the viewers, for tuning in. If you miss any part of today's show, you can catch the Recable cast at 5 and 10 p.m. on Optimum Channel 67 and Verizon Fios Channel 33, or watch anytime on the web at BronxNet.org. I'm Kibin Alleyne, wishing you and yours safety and wellness now and always. See you next time.